Hello, my name's Steve Jasper, aka the Jet Lag Guy, and welcome to my podcast, Whatever Happened to Baby Jet Lag?
Whatever happened with baby jet lag?
Whatever happened?
We'll find out. And I am the co-host, Arthur Chen, the chatty curator. Well, hi. Hello, Steve.
Hello, welcome to episode 9.
And very happy to be in person again.
It's nice to welcome back.
Yes.
Nice to be here. Are you recovered from the spicy cough?
Oh,
Yes.
look, I mean, it's just live now.
It is.
Something like that could happen.
Yeah. So we just got to keep our immunisations and look after ourselves.
Or another thing to look after yourself is how you manage your sleep pattern. And
Absolutely.
last time we talked about Lynne Peeples.
Lynne Peeples, Dr. Lynne Peeples, we did.
Yes.
And today we're going to do a little book review. So I got hold of Lynne Peeples' book, The Inner Clock, and it's a delight to read. I actually learned something. Now, we talked about her hardcore experiment.
Yep.
She locked herself away for weeks on end with dim red light, and that's hardcore. She does hardcore things, like she was observing how sunflowers turn in the sun, so she camped out in the middle of a sunflower maze in the middle of winter, so, I'm impressed. But I particularly liked the anecdote where there was an Arctic mission. They normally go to Antarctica, but in the pandemic they didn't. They went to the Arctic. And she gifted one of them a lamp, a bluish coloured lamp, to regulate the circadian rhythm. Because once you go to the Arctic, if you go in there in the winter, there's no sunlight. There's literally no sunlight. Once you get north of the Arctic Circle in winter, it's gone. And so the captain of the ship was like, "Oh yeah, thanks. That's nice." And then a few days after he lost sunlight, decided to switch it on. And he said he just felt rejuvenated.
Oh, wow.
Because he got his circadian rhythm back into sync. And this is something now, the military whoever who was sending the Antarctic mission did not think to support the crew's circadian rhythm. And that parallels what we find in the business community. I mean, I know in Australia, but also I suspect overseas, where if you're flying overseas, here's your ticket, off you go, best of luck. And there's no thought to how can we support their biology. We forget about that. And I got lucky a few times. I walked out in the sunlight when I flew to Buenos Aires. That did it for me, but I didn't know that. I didn't know then what I know now. So things like blue-green lights, retimer glasses, all those sort of light therapy tools are really valuable.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it's a really well-written book. It's written in lay people's language, so it's accessible, even though she is a scientist, and it is all scientifically validated. So there is a lot of unscientific material out there in this space, 5am Club. So I give it a 5-star rating.
Amazing. Well, I'm sure that you got to put that information on the show notes for people to see.
Absolutely. And with a link to her book as well.
Absolutely. All right. And welcome back. And we talked about, we had a book review a little bit earlier, but let's talk about another book.
Let's talk about my book.
Okay, well, you can't review this one because
it's wonderful, and I'm giving it 6 stars out of 5.
Okay, good for you. Well, but let's talk about
and it colour coordinates with my outfit today. Look.
Well, let's talk about the content a little bit.
Yeah. Look, I wanted to make it accessible for people who are not scientists, not academics. A lot of the people, business people, particularly who travel frequently, they're very smart in their areas. For example, a mining executive, they'll be smart in geological science.
Yeah.
Way smarter than I am. Someone who travels for banking, they'll know finance, way better than I do, but they don't necessarily know circadian rhythm stuff. So I've made it an accessible language, and I put a glossary at the end. So any term that's in italics in here has a little blurb, things like DNA. People use the term DNA, but a lot of people don't quite know what it means. Then you can look it up, alphabetical order in the glossary, and it's all there for you. So it is available on Amazon. So it's $17.77 US. And I think that comes to about $26, $27 Australian. It depends on the currency fluctuation rates, and I'm not even going to speculate what they're going to do.
And it's actually a really good thing for anyone who's want to learn about jet lag, so they can focus on what they do during the day. If they are in the mining, if they are good geologists, if they are academic or something like that.
Yeah, well, and also if you're flying, say, from Australia to London, and next year we're going to have direct flights to London, like non-stop. That's exciting. You are trapped on a plane for 20 hours, nearly. That's a long trip. You want something to read. So this is actually something to read. It's not just the facts. So I pitched it to three different level people who just want the facts. And there's a summary at the end of each chapter. There's a summary at the end, so you just get the facts. Then there's the people who want to know that it is actually scientifically based. I've got all the references, so looked after you there. And the people who want something to read, if they're going to carry this on a plane, then, okay, I want to get my money's worth, I want to read. So I'll give you something to read as well.
Well, and all of the references are verifiable.
They are.
Scientific.
And if you've got access to a database, you can actually get them yourself.
There you go. And also, I presume you're going to put the detail of the book on the show notes as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There'll be a link to Amazon.
There you go. Thank you.
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 Thank.
So, I got the frog.
The brain frog.
Yes. The brain frog.
That's a bad frog.
Yes.
We have good frogs.
What do you mean?
This is an important key for research. Chocolate frogs. Now, to all our overseas listeners who don't know what on earth we are talking about, a chocolate frog is just chocolate molded into the shape of a frog. There are no actual frogs involved. So we are not eating chocolate-coated frogs or anything weird like that. It's a thing, like the French do it with fish, Australians do it with frogs. So here is your chocolate frog.
Thank you.
Now it's from Haigh, which means it's the good stuff.
Yeah.
This was a key to my research.
Okay, really?
Because one of the things I needed to do is I needed to conduct surveys.
Yeah.
And initially I had $20 vouchers from the supermarket, and I've got a few, but I was sort of in dire straits. And my supervisor saying, "Well, you're in real trouble. You need 100 to I had 80 something, and you need 100 for it to be viable, 120 for it to be good, 150 would be excellent." And I went to a biotechnology conference in Adelaide, and Adelaide is the home of Haig's chocolates. So I can't take the cheap stuff. I've got to take the good stuff. So I did. There was me, and there's a Swiss guy who does company valuations with Swiss chocolate. So we had the premier chocolate there. And anyone who did my survey, and I took 5 tablets with me, all open to they got a chocolate to help their brain, because it's brain food. So these guys, and at the end I had 153 responses. So
there you go.
These were vital to my research. So,
and the other important thing is that it's actually great evidence to show when a researcher like yourself that you go look deep into the stories and what it is about, what the topic is about. So it's not just the woo-woo and the goobity science that on the internet.
No, it is, there are numbers. There are, numbers. We used Likert scores, so I didn't do it from a scientific perspective as much from an organisational management perspective. So that was my research. It's a PhD in international management. But looking at, these were people in biotechnology. Most of them had, masters and PhDs in science, had no idea how to manage the jet lag and no support.
Well, with the chocolate frog origin story, that took one step closer to helping people.
That's it. So chocolate frog helped.
Amazing. And for people who are, and to sum up this episode,
yes, So
Let's
episode
look.
9.
Yes, episode 9. So, Steve, can you do a little quick sum up?
I gave Lynne Peeples a 5 out of 5-star rating for her book. And then we talked about my book, which I'm not allowed to rate, even though I give it 6, but hey.
And on camera, you should hold it like this so you can see the title, because you were holding a little bit too close. There you go. That's how you do it.
That's how I do it. And of course, the importance of a chocolate frog for research.
Amazing. And for those who are interested in working with you or finding out more, how are they going to find you?
Well, if you go to the details on the screen, www.jetlagguy.com.au, email me at drsteve.jetlagguy.com.au, and I hope to be working with some of you in the future.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.